Here we have a new 2023 Nissan Maxima Platinum. And this one comes in pearl white tricoat on cashmere, diamond quilted perforated leather interior. And then our standard powertrain on the Maxima is going to consist of a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 mated to the Xtronic CVT, and that gets us 300 horsepower and 261 pound-feet of torque. So coming around to the front end here, we have LED daytime running lights along with LED headlamps. We have LED fog lights down there as well. We still have that really nice, really aggressive front end carrying over from 22. And on the Platinum, we do get these very sleek 19-inch aluminum wheels. Of course, mostly everything's body colored. We have our black mirrors here. Then we get passive keyless entry. And then over here we have the controls for our power door locks, power windows, and power mirrors. And then our front two windows have an automatic one-touch up-down function. And memory seat controls there. We have a Bose sound system too. A little bit of storage there, cup holder. Really like this trim, how they kind of put that there. And then how the colors kind of coincide here. And there's our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. But really loving just the slight black. Mostly everything is that cashmere, but this is black. Dash is black. It's a really good look there. But before we check out the leg room, here's a look at the window sticker. This one stickers for $46,845. But really like all the standard equipment you get on here. You get the heated cool front seats, heated rear seats. You get that Wi-Fi hotspot, 11 speaker Bose sound system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So on to the rear seat room. So something I've said in prior reviews is I really am disappointed by the legroom back here for this to be such a huge sedan, but I mean, look how thick those seats are. And then I also have, my head is almost touching the headliner there, but the seat in front of me is adjusted for someone of my size. So you can definitely fit your kids back here, but like I said, me being 6'3", my legs are still touching the back of the seat. Then we have our heated rear seat controls, back here. 2-stage for the outboard passengers. Then a USB-C, USB-A charging port there. Let's fold down this center seat. We have our cup holders and a little storage here if you want to stick your phone or something. But I will say, really like this leather, just how it looks. It looks great, especially in this cashmere. But I also like how you're able to adjust the headrest here. So you can just pull up and hit that button, pull it all the way down. And how it's kind of integrated in the seat looks really nice too. And then on either side, we have our pockets in the back seat. Let's go ahead and check out the back. And then we're supposed to put premium in here. That's what's recommended. And then you have the lever up front to open the gas tank. You can't push it. But one of the best things about the Maximas are going to be the looks. And we have our LED tail lights here, dual exhaust, just a really fresh look there. And pretty good sized cargo space. We have a few extras in there with this particular vehicle. And then we can hang bags here, and then you pull this to fold down your rear seat, which I'll show you here. So after you pull that lever, all you have to do is pull the seat down, and when the seat's up front or up far enough, this will fold flat. You can run the bigger objects through the back, and then you can just pull it up to lock it back, and just really easy to pull that back. Not a lot of force is needed. And then here we have our front passenger seat, which is going to be power as well, but no lumbar on this one. Allergies are starting to act up. Let's go ahead and open the hood here. Check out that 3.5 liter. And there's that naturally aspirated V6. Like how easy the hood is to close, don't have to slam it, and it doesn't sound like you're breaking anything when you close it. Let's hop in here. So one of my favorite things about Nissans in general are going to be these sporty flat bottom steering wheels, leather wrapped here. And I love the stitching. It just looks really, really sporty. Feels really nice in my hands too. But over here to the radio, this carries over as well. Pretty dated, but still you get a lot of functionality with it, and it is pretty responsive. Has your navigation system there, and then you have AM, FM, XM radio, along with a CD player, USB inputs for that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then Bluetooth aux there. So I like that they still have everything on here. That's what a lot of people, they still want their CD player, they still want their aux inputs, so it's nice to have all of that included. And then settings menu here. And then you can also just customize your actual home menu. And you have your XM options here. But there's our backup camera with the guidelines that turn as you turn the steering wheel. We have that 360 view as well. And then down here we have our dual zone automatic climate controls. So we can toggle the auto by hitting that button there. And then to turn it off, we just adjust the fan speed. Then we can set our dual zone there so that the front passenger can adjust their own temperature. And then we have a USB-C, USB-A aux input in here. And then a little storage. I like this deep pocket. It's easy to hide something in there. And then our shifter, hit this button behind the actual leather part there. And then you can pull down all the way for drive, and then neutral, reverse, and then you can shift the revs of the CVT in that manual mode. And then here, I really like how this knob works down here. Really easy to use, actually. It makes a lot of sense. So when you toggle it up, it'll go through the actual screen, and then whatever screen you're in, turning it will let you go through every single option. So you can toggle the map, home, back. Then you have your traction control here, your sport mode here. You can toggle that there. And then you have your heated, cooled seats. You can adjust those there and then put it to the middle to turn everything off. And then cup holders. And a really nice kind of felt looking center console cubby space there with the 12 volt. And then a little storage in here. And then up here we have our dual pane panoramic sunroof. And then we can one touch tilt or slide it. We can do that open or close. And then we can one touch with the power shade as well. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. There's our glove compartment in there. Pretty, actually a really good size, because you have this spot here and then you have that big space in the back there. But to the steering wheel itself, we can toggle through our presets for the radio or our track list here, volume controls here, and then these arrows we can actually use to go through the gauge cluster. We can toggle our sources, whether it's Bluetooth, radio, CD, whatever, just clicking that there. And then for our Nissan safety shield, we have our adaptive cruise. You can toggle that there, gap adjust for that, and then the actual cruise controls here. And then we have voice recognition controls. Yeah, we have voice recognition controls here.
Canceling voice recognition.
And then we can actually toggle the whole safety shield here, including the lane departure. Then we have our heated steering wheel, and then I really like that we have a rear shade that we can toggle from up here as well. And then here's our push button start. And finally, here we have the key fob with remote start. So next we're going to go ahead and take this 2023 Nissan Maxima Platinum out on the road for a quick test drive. Now, pickup in this Maxima, of course, is very nice with that V6 and having the CVT, because you're not having to worry about shift points or any sort of transmission lag for the most part. So that's one of the cool things about accelerating in something like this. Now the ride, I can pretty much feel everything in this, and I've said that in several reviews. It's not uncomfortable, but my thighs are just slightly being nudged as I go down this stretch of relatively smooth roadway. But one thing I do like about the Maximas is people like me who don't really care that much about ride quality. Like, obviously you don't want something that rides like a race car, but it's not bothersome in that sense. Just something I noticed, and it will probably get on a lot of people's nerves. But for me, I'm all about performance and just handling things of that nature, not necessarily comfort features or anything like that. So I do like having adaptive cruise, of course, and it's nice to have it standard on this Platinum that's still under $50,000, which, don't get me wrong, is a lot of money, but a lot of other vehicles you have to be in the $60,000 to $70,000 range to get a lot of these safety features. Not Toyota, but a lot of the other brands. And I will say my biggest complaint about the Maxima, obviously it's quick. And I mean, I like I think they look awesome. I really do. But I feel like just having that lower roof line, especially with the sunroof in here, I think I have the seat about as far down as it'll go, and I'm pretty far back, and I still feel like my head is about to touch the roof. So I'm hoping we can get a little bit more headroom in whatever vehicle comes after this, whether it's a refresh of a Maxima or whether it's a new vehicle coming out. But of course you can remedy that a little bit by going with the Murano, which pretty much drives similarly. I don't think it looks as good, but it's still a fairly nice looking vehicle. But one thing I love about the Maximas is just how they handle. I think they are one of the better handling sedans out there. And you do have your understeer, but I don't ever feel like I'm losing control of the car. And I still feel like this is rather quick for the segment. I mean, you're pushing 300 horsepower in a 4-door car, so it's not slow by any means. And with the CVT as well, I really don't hear the actual powertrain, but I do hear the tires rolling against the road. And like I said, for someone like myself, that doesn't bother me, but I want to point that out because that is a big factor to a lot of consumers out there. So I'm going to put it in the sport mode. I'm not going to put my foot into it, but I am going to see if I can tell a difference. We'll give it a little bit of throttle here. Like I said, with the CVT, I'm not having to worry about finding a shift point or anything. So really good acceleration. And going down this stretch of the interstate here, I really like how the ride is not jarring by any means, but I can still feel the road, which personally I like because I feel like I have more control on just how the car feels, how it drives. And honestly, the wind noise is not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. Because like I said, I'm not really hearing any noises from the engine or the transmission. So really good sound in here. I really like the cabin acoustics. But as we get to the vehicle in front of me, the vehicle will start to slow down to keep that safe distance, as I have it set to 78. But as I get closer, I can feel the car already slowing down. And the speedometers get me down 75, 70. And I really like how smooth the transition is. I'm not getting jerked all of a sudden to slow down. But overall, just a really good car. If you want something that's sleek, looks good, and you can still get 30 miles per gallon on the highway, and like I said, it's fast when you need it to be. Really impressed. So this will bring me to the end of my review of the 2023 Nissan Maxima Platinum.